I got into sailing through, well, initially through a dinghy course, an optimist course, like many others that my parents took me on, and I absolutely loved it. I'd always liked boats as a kid, and being in charge of one when I was that young was a real thrill. So ever since then, I've tried to go whenever I could. I never really had an interest in racing. I just liked being on the water. I liked getting from A to B and sort of solving problems. That part of sailing. So it was kind of intermittent, but I did the tall ships race when I was about 17, and that was fantastic. That really gave me the bug for cruising boats, for larger boats. It was an Oyster. It wasn't a real tall ship, but it qualified one way or another. It was a Scout's Oyster, and after that I got out on deliveries whenever I could. So I went to Tenerife. I went from Lymington to Tenerife on a Jeanneau, a 42 Jeanneau, and did things like up the Irish Sea, up the west coast of Britain, from Hampshire to places like Maryport around there, and that really helped with confidence. So that really helped me be a bit more comfortable, keeping watch on my own, all that kind of stuff. After that, I started work, and that kind of takes over, obviously. But I went on chartered boats with friends, sort of group of 4 or 5, in Greece and Croatia, 3 or 4 times. But then I realised that the only way I was going to get to sailing regularly was to buy a boat. And I researched quite a lot, because although I'd done what felt like a fair amount of sailing, I didn't really know anything about boats. And the things that really struck home in the how to choose a boat books were choose the one that's right for you, for what you're going to use it for. So for me, it was about a fin keel, so it spins, manoeuvrability in a harbour, and for the same reason the sail drive. I knew that what I was going to use it for was taking friends to the Isle of Wight, going out on a Saturday, having a few drinks, having some dinner, coming back the next day. So accommodation, something quite beamy, but at the same time, not too big, so I could sail it on my own, because I was going to be doing a lot of that too, with everything coming back to the cockpit. So it took quite a while, and I did what everybody does, and sort of fell in love with I went up to see a guy who had a wooden twister, that was wonderful. It was fantastic, but I almost went for that one, but then had a real kind of see the light moment, completely inappropriate. I would never have had the time to devote to maintenance for a boat like that, and so that's why I chose a Maxi 84. Great accommodation, good manoeuvrability, quite forgiving as a first boat, and it's really looked after me. This boat's really looked after me, and she had a relatively new engine back then. It was put in 2005, I think. And she's done everything that that I hoped she would. She's kept me safe. She's been a lot of fun. Been relatively low maintenance, and I've absolutely really enjoyed sailing her up until about 2.5 years ago, when the kids arrived. But I'll be back. We'll do some cruising sailing with them when they're a bit older.
So how old did the kids sail?
Grace was 3 yesterday, and William is 1. He was 1 in April. So they're very young, and if I can, I'll get them into a nice kind of shallow draft, open day boat, something with a huge amount of space, just to go cruising around the harbour, just to I can nudge up on the beach and have a picnic with them. That would be great, and if they like it, great. That'd be fantastic, and we'll hopefully have more boats. But and if they don't, they don't. But that's kind of the vision for the next boat. Is it's a time of life thing. It's a day sailor, something you can take out for a few hours. Something like this, you really need at least the best part of a day to get the most out of it. So yeah.